For way too long, engineering has felt like a black box, right? You pour investment in, but the outcomes, things like delivery dates, quality, the real cost, they all remain frustratingly unpredictable. Well, that ends today. Let's talk about how you can engineer outcomes with the same certainty you expect from a financial forecast.
Let's start with a number that probably lives on your dashboards, 38%. That's how much of your team's effort is just gone, spent on rework. It's a silent tax on every single thing you're trying to build and a direct drag on your bottom line.
And this is the cost your customers feel. 12 defects escaping every single sprint. Each one chips away at their trust, and you know this. It pulls your absolute best engineers off of valuable work and into firefighting.
And then there's this one, the risk you can't even put a number on. That looming audit, the weeks of manual prep, and that constant nagging uncertainty. This is the unmeasured liability that keeps leaders like you awake at night.
You know, the principle here is timeless. Peter Drucker said it best, what gets measured gets managed. We live by this in finance, in sales, in ops, and now for the first time we can apply that exact same rigor to software engineering. It all starts by fundamentally shifting your entire operating model. This is about moving from managing people and endless status reports to managing a system that is backed by hard evidence. Look, on the left, it's a story we all know too well. Progress stalls, you can't trace anything, and planning is basically guesswork. But on the right, that's a new reality powered by CORTEX. This isn't about telling your team to work harder. It's about rewiring the entire system, from one based on trust to one based on verifiable proof. So how does this transformation actually happen? Let's pop the hood and look at the mechanics that deliver this kind of certainty. It all begins with something we call the convergence loop. Now, this is not just another quality check. It is a relentless, automated process. CORTEX scans for issues, helps fix them, and then immediately rescans over and over, iterating until zero violations remain. The result? Partial quality, shoddy work. It just never gets shipped, period. And what's powering this loop? Over 60 automated governance rules. These are not suggestions on a wiki page. They are your policies, enforced automatically before code is even committed, during integration, and even at runtime. This guarantees your standards for quality, security, and performance are met, no exceptions. And every single one of those enforcement actions, it's logged, creating a tamper-proof audit trail. Think about this. What used to take your senior engineers weeks of painstaking manual prep for an audit can now be generated on demand in seconds.
So what about all that tribal knowledge your organization has? You know, all those best practices locked away in Word docs and PowerPoints. The document ingest pipeline automatically pulls them in and transforms them from static files into active, structured engineering guidance that becomes a living part of your delivery system. Okay, so this looks like a simple acceptance criterion, right? A basic statement of intent from a product owner. It's how every feature starts. But let's be honest, this is almost always where traceability completely breaks down.
But within CORTEX, that simple statement of intent becomes something much, much more powerful. It becomes a machine-readable contract, an unbreakable link that is tracked and verified from the moment it's defined all the way through to final delivery. And here it is, the proof. The contract is fulfilled. What you're seeing is the direct, automated link between the business requirement and the actual lines of code that prove it was built correctly. There's no ambiguity. This is what done actually looks like. And what this creates is a single source of truth for everyone. Business leaders, product owners, engineers, QA, you're all operating from the same real-time data. Bottlenecks surface instantly, long before they have a chance to become last-minute surprises. All of this automation, all this traceability and evidence, it leads us right back to the number that matters most to any business leader.
We started here, 38%, the industry's accepted and, frankly, unacceptable cost of doing business.
But with automated governance enforcing quality right up front, that number starts to fall. That constant drain on your budget and your team's focus, it starts to shrink, sprint after sprint.
And because the system itself ensures that what's defined is what's built, and built correctly the first time, the cost of error absolutely plummets. Predictability stops being some far-off goal. It just becomes a feature of the system.
This is the new reality. Your engineering organization operating with less than 5% rework. This is what financial-grade predictability for your technology investment really is.
This is what an evidence-based system delivers, a clear return on investment. Compliance that's just a byproduct of your daily workflow.
and delivery you can actually, truly forecast. Think about it. You would never run your finance department on trust alone. You demand evidence. You demand proof. CORTEX provides that same level of evidence, allowing you to manage your technology investment with true financial certainty.